Recently, it kind of went unnoticed that Days of Thunder 2 may be in pre-production and getting all set up to start filming soon. This is something that I think a lot of NASCAR fans, once they know about, will raise an ear to because Days of Thunder, for better or worse, has been the best adaptation of NASCAR that's taken the sport seriously that I can remember probably in the last 30 or so years that's gotten any mainstream appeal. Yes, there was Talladega Nights, but that was more of a comedy and that more made fun of the sport, whereas Days of Thunder was more part of the sport. So today what I want to look at is more what I want or hope to see from Days of Thunder 2 to not only make it a good movie, but a good NASCAR movie at that. So to start out with, make NASCAR look and sound cool. Now, it's different than how you did it in the 90s because movies change, culture changes, and the preferences of audiences change. But I do think that it's pretty damn easy to make NASCAR seem really loud, at least. So you got the sound down, hopefully, and really fun and cool. Because what's not cool about giant 200 mile per hour metal bricks as race cars, or now composite bricks? So I think that's a big thing. Get that experience so that the audience feels like they're right there with Cole Trickle or whoever it is the main racing character in the movie so that they can fully experience and immerse themselves in the world of NASCAR. It'd be something that no other racing series has really done, honestly, maybe ever in a movie, but definitely in recent time. The sound also would be perfect for a theater setting because of that shaking, rumbling feel of those V8 engines. I think that's something that both NASCAR fans especially, but also mainstream normie audiences will appreciate as a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience in a movie theater. You can't get that with any other racing series really, but NASCAR, at least in a movie setting the way that they would try to do. And I would also say get away from the setting or kind of way that Talladega Nights portrayed the sport. It isn't some dumb redneck sport. It's a sport that is just as serious as football or basketball or baseball, so take it seriously. Make this movie the anti-Talladega Nights. I know a lot of people like it, but it did a ton of damage to the way the sport is viewed by a generation of Americans and probably people worldwide, and this would be a great way to kind of course correct in the mainstream. Also, I think they should kind of treat it like Top Gun Maverick, which the same people that made Top Gun Maverick look to be making this movie as well with Tom Cruise. Use practical effects. If you need to put the money up to buy some race cars that you're going to film from, just like you did in the first one, or crash, just like we've seen in other movies before, do it. It will be worth it for the audience to see. And have a little bit of reverence to the original too. They probably won't be able to have all of the characters come back. That's a given. But you need to show that you respect that older one and can build on it and make a better movie. Because this movie very much is a cult classic when I talk about the first one. And this, the second, could be something that takes the nation the way that Top Gun Maverick did. So I think it's a real opportunity both for movie making as well as for NASCAR as a whole. Now for the story. It needs to be good, obviously, but also makes sense to both NASCAR fans and normal people. If you have too much NASCAR jargon in it, yes, the 2 to 5 million NASCAR fans that watch a week are definitely going to understand what you're talking about. But the millions around the world who don't watch NASCAR but want to see a good Tom Cruise movie aren't going to know a lick of what you're saying, and you definitely need to make it easy for them to hear. Kind of dumb it down, so NASCAR fans, you might get a little upset because they're explaining what loose and tight is, but you know what? It's something that can get more people into the sport long term if you give an accurate and good representation of it. Those are two different things. You can be accurate but still not be a good movie. You got to be a good movie with it. So I would say that would be really key. I also think the characters, you need to have some of the old characters come back, but you also need some good new characters. I think 3 right away that should come back are Tom Cruise, obviously, as he's working on it, Michael Rooker as Rowdy Burns, and then also John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly's stock has definitely risen since that movie, and you would have a pretty set amount of the old guard among those 3 alone. I know Robert Duvall made a lot of the first one really fun, but he's 92 years old as we're recording this. He's not going to get any younger, so maybe having one scene where he's there, maybe in his retirement where he's up in the mountains of North Carolina just enjoying the view away from all the hustle and bustle of NASCAR, maybe that can be a good poignant scene between him and Cole Trickle. Also, you do need those new stars, and you're going to need new star power. You can't just go and get some random person and expect them to carry a movie when you have Tom Cruise right next to him. So there's 5 or so younger stars that I think could fit in different roles. They don't necessarily have to be the driver, but that's the great thing about NASCAR is a man or woman can drive that car. The car is really the great equalizer in all of it. Also, make them have parallels to real drivers. Maybe a Ross Chastain or Noah Gragson type that wins the same way as Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott. Maybe coming over from dirt the way that Kyle Larson did. You can make it just like how they did in the original, but with different people. Maybe have different drivers in it, the way they had Richard Petty and others that were in the movie but didn't really have any speaking parts, so you would see them, but they didn't have to have horrible acting involved. Have people in media. Make this exactly the way a NASCAR race would be, so when people turn it on Sunday, if their interest is piqued, they're like, hey, I know that Dale Jr. guy, he's the announcer. They're not going to know him as a driver, they're going to know him as the announcer from Days of Thunder. Rick Allen, Mike Joy, whoever you need to be. Have fun with it, but be accurate. That is the big thing that I have as my takeaway for this. And also, have the movie cars interact with real ones. I want to see Cole Trickle in his later years, maybe going after one final Daytona 500, and he's having to pass Chase Elliott or Kyle Busch, somebody as he's moving up to the front, maybe working with the 3 car of Austin Dillon. Have different young drivers and old drivers too involved. He's going to know a lot of the older ones. Maybe some of the younger ones are cocky hotshots or race him even harder because he's the old man. Some kind of thing like that. Or this new driver is a rookie who has to earn his stripes. So have somebody like Joey Logano use him up because this rookie doesn't know that he can stand up for himself yet. Have aspects of NASCAR involved in this that will be really fun and a lot of people even outside of NASCAR can connect with. So with that, I'm going to pass it all on to you. Are you looking forward to Days of Thunder 2? And if so, what do you want the movie to be like? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support, and until next time, have a good one.